guys, what's up? Thanks for joining us on this podcast, of which we have no name for yet. My name is Joseph Carter. I am a photographer and videographer, and I dabble in a little web design on the side. You can find me on Instagram at TheJoezilla, and I'm from Temecula, California, and I'm here today on the first podcast with my friends. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Well, howdy. This is Marc Alegre, aka Sharky Mark. I'm from Temecula, California, but now residing in Cerritos. I am part of this cast pod because I'm an aspiring drafter with the ultimate goal of taking up car design. I have plans to start a car-focused YouTube channel. Also have an interest in making short travel vids. Generally, I love anything associated with the word creativity, whether it be humor, art, dance, and basically anything expressive. Now, I pass the baton to that guy over there.
What's up, guys? My name's David Sly, or just Sly, aka just call me Sly, because I don't go by David. I'm a graphic artist based out of Vegas. You know, I also dabble in things. All things creative, you know, from handmade crafts to live photography. Pretty chill dude, always up to go down and party. That's about it for right now. I'm gonna pass it over to the man, the legend, King, Seth King.
What's up, guys? My name's Seth King. I'm a graphic designer. I work in marketing too. I love to create stuff. That's it.
Marketing too, the course in college.
Yeah. I'm the class president.
As you could tell.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know it's been about an hour and a half of just trying to start this podcast. So let's just jump into the meat of this, guys. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but okay.
Great, I'm hungry.
All right. So
I'm hungry for design.
So this episode, our theme is going to be motivation, just as a creative, what we do when we get into Roblox. It's a pretty broad topic, so I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of conversation to go on. Some tear-jerking moments I'm hoping for.
I don't want to remember these moments, man.
Well, I don't know.
Design horror stories.
I know me and Seth were talking about this last time I was out there in Vegas, about how when it comes to motivation, sometimes it can just be like your mindset, like you're thinking you're only a videographer or you're only a graphic designer, and you can't be anything else. Remember we were talking about that, Seth?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's like the mindset I came out of school with. Basically, I was like, I want to be like a graphic designer. I want to be like the best one. But then, like I'm 3 years into my career, and I'm thinking now it's like I just want to be creative, and I want to do everything that I want to do. Like, what's stopping me? So that's how I feel now.
Yeah,
That's an awesome mindset. Yeah.
Like, what's really holding you back? Like, I think this generation, like, growing up, these kids, like, they see. I mean, like, they look at their heroes. They look at, like, LeBron James and, like, all these, like, artists that are, like, doing clothing lines. You see, like, Kanye doing, like, he branched into clothing, like, producing, like, anything that he wants to do. And so, like, that's the mindset nowadays, So it's
Jack of all trades, kind of.
Yeah, but it's like, but that's, like, I feel like that statement of being, like, a jack of all trades but a master of none, like, is there really a master of anything when you think about it? Like, there's no...
Yeah.
You're only as good as, like, you're only gonna get as good as you can get. So if you can contribute and want to contribute something, like, cool in like video stuff, and maybe you're not the best video guy, like, doesn't matter. That's still you. That's still your art, So
Yeah, it's coming from the self, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I feel it for you, man. I feel like too often parents, well, at least my parents, they were trying to tell me, like, oh, you're gonna get into, like, design and that's gonna be your thing, and it's like, no, I wanna try and do other things. I want to be creative. I want to keep pursuing, you know, different avenues instead of just graphic design, just photo retouching. So I definitely know, I feel what you're coming from.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know if you or how you feel about it, but I know you've had a lot of motivational speed bumps recently, right?
Oh yeah, just the mindset of not really knowing if you can do it. I feel like that's a big speed bump to try to get over. Like you're saying, you can't just be like what defines you as being the best. You can only be the best you can be, and I think when people realize that about themselves, that will open so many avenues for them to just produce creative things and be creative in general, because you'll feel like, you know, you are in control. You can do whatever on this blank canvas that you have created. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty free-form answer you could have given.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Could have gone any way.
Yeah.
I just think like we have a certain amount of time, like on this earth, so you might as well like. And we're in very fortunate situations where we can like be creative and not have to worry about like, you know, like other parts of the world are not living like us. So
Yeah.
You're right.
like for us we need to just take advantage of like our situation and make the things that we want to make. You know, like we have that opportunity. Let's not waste it because other people are trying to, you know, get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Seize
always
the
gotta stay
moment.
humble. Kendrick Lamar, stay humble, man. You know,
Stay
hustle hard.
humble. Stay humble, but
Hey.
also feel free to, you know, create what you want to. Don't limit
Stay
yourself. Stay bumble.
Yeah, I think you have to keep going into like art and design with the passion of, I'm gonna start out and I'm not gonna be good at it, but I'm gonna put my all into it and see where this goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a very good mindset. Yes.
That's kind of like what you were telling me earlier, Mark, when you were saying like you feel like you're not gonna, you know, be good at it, so kind of
that's
demotivates you to even try at all. So
yeah, like seeing or individuals or friends that have so much experience already is kind of intimidating, just trying to get into it. But in reality, it's trial and error, and you can't learn unless you try, basically.
yeah.
So if I don't put my foot forward, then there's never really a door that's going to be open. It's just going to remain closed. So
You have to like you have to be able to trust in your like creativity. You know, for me, I went to school with Sly and I like dropped out of art school. And I went back and I was like super nervous because like everybody obviously is like a designer now, and like I hadn't been in school in like 3 years, but like the one thing I learned was that like I never lost the ability to create stuff. So it was just about learning the technical stuff, and like the creativity is always there with you, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes complete sense.
Like you're gonna suck for a little bit, but if you double down on like your ideas and stuff, like you're gonna make great stuff eventually, the stuff that you want to make, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I believe that.
Oh, for sure. And surrounding yourself with other creative people,
Mhm.
people that are positive and really supportive of like things that you're doing. I feel like that really helps out as well. Just having that support from people.
Yeah, and that's what I've kind of adopted lately too. Just talking to Joseph all the time. Now being able to conversate with you two. And just, you know, social media is also a good platform for inspiration and creativity.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's a big thing, I think, like especially like maybe on like Instagram and stuff, where you start following people that, you know, that are like better than you and that you like their stuff, like because you're always looking at your social media like every single day, right? So if you're like, if that's always on your mind,
Yeah.
like that, you know, that'll only help you. Like it's helped me so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
surrounding
true.
yourself with stuff that you want to see and
Mhm.
art that you want to do, whether it be like photography, motion graphics, like film, writing. As long as you're surrounding yourself with that, you're gonna absorb those things into your own abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's kind of funny because out there in Vegas with you guys are surrounded by, Seth and Sly, you guys are surrounded by a lot of other graphic designers that you know. And then with me, and I know Mark is interested in videography, we're surrounded by a bunch of photographers and videographers that we know. So it's like, it's kind of funny just how the mindset is when everybody around you is kind of doing a similar thing, and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta keep up with these guys, or I gotta do the next new thing. But it's kind of funny doing this podcast because I don't really know anyone who does podcasts, so I almost don't, I don't really care too much. You know what I mean? Not I don't care about how it turns out, but I'm not like, stressed out.
Nothing to compare it to.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird feeling.
That's kind of a great liberating feeling, like,
Yeah.
Like without judgment, like just don't worry about it, just do it,
Yeah.
But I mean, that you wouldn't have done this podcast without that mindset already, like going into it, like we're doing it, so
we just gotta do it and keep doing. You just gotta keep doing it.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, but like they say you gotta do something bad, X amount of times before you do it good one time.
Yeah.
Repetition is really key for like perfecting the art of either, whether it be a podcast or photography or art or anything in general. Just gotta put those hours in.
Public speaking.
Oh, definitely. Oh, that's the worst.
To communication class.
Man, I hated communication class. I was terrible at it.
Especially, like, you have to take it at such a young age, I guess, or like your first years of college when you're still trying to find out who you really are. So
for sure,
not developing that personable characteristic about yourself, but I guess that helps aid it.
No, and it's not like, like you take those 2 classes and then you're like a guru. Like I'm still like super nervous when I speak in front of people,
It's a good reaction though, because I was listening to another podcast the other day, and somebody was talking about people who can just talk in front of people without having like expectations or anything are like psychopaths, because they have no feeling. They don't feel like people are judging them. They just get up there and they have like such an ego that they can just talk without having the feeling of being nervous around people.
Yeah.
I want that.
You want that?
I need it.
No sympathy, no empathy.
That's crazy. It could
Let
be
the darkness flow through you.
Well,
yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, I was gonna say, Seth and Sly, as creators who create for their living, what are some of the worst ruts you guys have been in motivationally, like where you just didn't know what to do anymore, and how'd you get out of it?
I think it depends on, like for me at least, it depends on the type of designer or creative you are, like for me, I'm like, I thrive in a great like team environment, and so like my first job, like I didn't really have that, it was like super nerve-wracking, and I felt like I was like always screwing up. But it was just kind of like, I kind of realized that it was like, to compare it to like a basketball team, there's always like a player that's like on a team and he's like doing all right, but like he's not that good, but then he gets like traded and he starts to like blossom into this amazing like superstar player. Like I think it's about like your team, and like the people around you. Like if you don't have people that support your ideas or are not on the same vibe, then like you're gonna feel horrible. Like as a creative, that's the hardest thing about working or like having a career, is that like your like work is directly tied into like you know what I mean? Like if you're miserable at work, like you can't just like go to work like an accountant and then like come back. Like you put your heart and soul into these projects, and when you fail, like you really feel like you failed, So it's important to have like that strong, to have somebody.
Yeah, 'cause you're like slapping your heart on it. every time. Like that's a piece of you you're putting out there
Yeah.
for somebody to view. I hear you, man. I would say I'm definitely a team-based person, but I like to bounce ideas off of my coworkers, and I like brainstorming with like my coworkers and like creating a concept, throwing it to them, seeing what they can like change up and do, and then coming back to me, and then us coming up with a grander scheme and really knocking that out. So yeah, for me, I would say I'm more of like a support role. If I was gonna base it on anything, I would base it on like video game terms. Is like I would be more of a support person.
Be a healer.
Whereas like, yeah, I would say a healer, or more so like team-based healer. Like kind of, I can shot call, but I'm more of a conceptual designer.
I love all these analogies.
That's pretty cool about the teamwork. For me,
Basketball,
probably
RPGs.
until early last year, I honestly just wasn't very open, like for criticism or just working with people. It was always like kind of shut myself off and do my own thing. And then once I actually like opened up and everything, is like way easier to learn and way easier to experience new things. And I don't know, I think a lot of people get stuck in that. As far as motivation goes, I feel like a lot of people get stuck in that fear zone of like when you got the social anxiety, when you got Instagram, you're just thinking about what other people are doing.
No, I just feel like real quick, like I used to be like that a lot too, but then I just kind of realized, like, I mean, you're never gonna make stuff that everybody likes, like, but the people who will like your stuff, they'll really fucking like it. You know what I mean? Like, so you just keep like making stuff that you want to make, and then the rest kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
That's like making stuff organically, not for your peers, but representation of yourself. And if someone connects with it, then that's all the glory to you, because other people understand what you basically put out. Does that make sense?
No,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That makes sense,
dope.
but also like when you're working too in a creative environment, like you're gonna be making stuff that you don't like.
Oh yeah.
But you just need to learn how to separate that too, like, and that'll come like once you do it, like you're gonna work on stuff and you're like, this is like the dumbest thing ever. Like I was working on like CEO PowerPoint presentations a lot with my last job, and it's just like, I'm like designing stuff for and in PowerPoint, and it's like not the most glorious thing, but it's also like you need to be able to recognize like that is something that can make me money. Like these guys live in this space where they don't want their like presentations to look like shitty, but
I think as a designer though,
I didn't know
it's
that.
cool
That's
that you worked in PowerPoint as well, because you had to problem solve to figure out like, how am I gonna make this look good in PowerPoint when I have to like maybe pull some elements from like Illustrator or like create some stuff there and then pull it over and really figure out the backbone of like PowerPoint. I think also being a graphic designer is a lot of problem solving and like critical thinking, like how can I make this look the best with the tools that I have. And I think doing those kind of jobs kind of helps you excel as a designer, because it makes you kind of think outside the box and like, what are you gonna do to make this look good.
Yeah, it's all experience. Just like if it was photography or videography, doing a wedding or something you don't really want to make. I mean, it's not really creative outlet, but it's work, but you still learn the technical stuff that could save you in a creative mindset instead, if you're like making something for yourself.
I think that's like so cool that like cinematographers and videographers like do stuff like that, because it must be super nerve-wracking, just because like there's people out there, like this is like supposed to be the most important moment of your life, and you have to like make it count every time.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
an awesome
You
feeling.
have to capture that moment.
It's like so it's so crazy to like think about, but
My wedding photos came out terrible. I'll never get that moment back.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, especially as I think photographers have the worst of the pressure, because not only do they have to capture the moments and touch up the pictures, but they also have to direct people and kind of be open.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
much
talk,
like a one man team sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like you're directing people, you're shooting, and you're retouching. That's kind of crazy, man. I see that happening in design too, though. Like at my old job, we would go from like concept to, if our concept got picked, then we had to come up with, we had to lay out everything to the final, and then do all the production for it. So it's like, I feel like those kind of things also help you excel as a designer or as a creative person, because it teaches you from the top all the way to the bottom and how you can get faster at doing those kind of things and what to look for.
yes,
Yep. I gotcha. I gotcha.
I concur.
Ah, yes. You make a valid point.
Yeah, what if you just said that after every one of your statements?
Yes.
You gave yourself affirmation. I agree.
Yeah, people just wouldn't be able to tell it was you, like saying the same thing.
Well, yes, sir. You do make quite a valid point.
That is Sly talking right now.
Is that? I thought it was Seth.
Nope. Anyways, let's try to keep the
How
conversation
do you
going.
guys get out of a creative rut in photography? Like, let's say a shoot isn't going right. How are you like breaking that shoot and like getting back into something more creative?
Oh man, there's been a couple where I was like, wow, I didn't have a great time here. Like, I did a photo. It was a gig for I don't know, I don't want to say who it's for, but it was like
There it is.
it was a dental. It's a dental society up in LA, like a group of dentists.
They all know now.
Oh man, they know who they are.
You
Anyways,
hear that, LA gent?
I was working with event coordinator, and I had everything ready. I was all charged. I had my flash and everything packed, and then I went over there. It was valet parking, so I brought all my stuff out, and they parked my car somewhere else. I got in, and she's like, okay, we gotta take pictures. So I started taking pictures, and then I noticed my lens wasn't working on one camera, and my flash wasn't working, and I was like, holy crap, I'm not prepared. I don't have a backup or anything, so I had to use my other camera without a flash, and she was really upset. She was like, wait, how do you not have a flash? I was like, it's right here, but I do have lights in my car. So she's like, okay, go get them right now. Where they're gonna do speeches, like go get the lights. So I bring out you guys have seen them, the studio lights that I have. I bring them out, and I run an extension cord, and we got the studio lights shining on the stage, on the speech, while I'm taking pictures, and like people can't really see on some angles because the lights are in the way. Oh man, it was a disaster, and I was just like all down about it. I haven't worked with that event coordinator ever again because of that, and I understand why. But yeah, that was a pretty bad one. When I had to get the lights from my car, because it was in the valet, I had to walk really far and get it and ask for the keys. It was just really bad. But yeah, probably for a month or so, I felt really down about that one. But I kind of just kept doing more of the creative shoots and portraits, stuff for myself to just to have an outlet for the creative side, and then that kind of brought me back up to like, okay, I can do this, so I can handle another event or something. Why not? So and I bought lights, and I bought extra stuff, so I was prepared, which goes back to what we're talking about, how these experiences kind of prepare you for the future, of course, learning events. But yeah, I don't know, that was it really. I just kind of used my own I just kind of created on my own for a little bit, and that helped me out.
Okay.
Go back to what you know to get you out of that hole.
Well, it kind of also goes back to what Seth was saying. Like, you can't just have that single mindset. You know, if I was just thinking, oh man, now I gotta practice doing, you know, events. I gotta keep doing events until I do better. I'd probably be pretty like depressed about it. So having that second mindset of like, oh, I can, you know, do portraits or creative shoots to build the confidence again. That helped a lot.
That's cool.
I know, Mark. What are you thinking about the future of you as a creative? What are you looking into? I know you said videography, but
I'm also interested in starting a car YouTube channel, car-based YouTube channel, specifically for Toyota vehicles. I've been talking to the dude who fixed my MR2 recently, and we talked about spreading like the good work he does, and like his rep in LA isn't as good as it should be, and so since he helped me out with my car and asked me to like put out reviews and spread good things about him, I actually mentioned if he'd want me to do some videos or something, and that was kind of the introduction to that idea. And so possibly like he'd give me parts for free or discounted prices if I continue to make review videos for them, and
Oh hell yeah!
see where that could blossom. Yeah,
cool.
So that's the inspiration for that.
cool. So how do you
Like hit my ride stuff.
some exhibit?
Say that again.
Sorry.
Some
I
exhibits.
said, are you gonna do some like hit my ride videos or?
Hey, that'd be awesome. I don't know. See, that's where the thing is. Like, I see a lot of creative opportunities for that, but I don't think it's just going to be one set thing. I think even that would be a funny idea, a spin-off in my ride for one of the episodes or something. Who knows? Yeah. I haven't really thought too much into it. I just kind of got to start building it up.
Okay.
But when it's established, definitely going to try to do some funny stuff. 'Cause that sounds... You just gave me a good idea right there.
That's the thing, man. Always got to be bouncing ideas off of people.
Yeah,
That's
surround yourself with creatives, yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things from my old job when I was working at Tropicana is like when I would be in the room with my old boss Pete and my old coworker Martin, we would just like joke around and like kind of like talk shit like that, but there's always like a spark of creativity just from like spitballing things.
Right.
And just like how you had that idea, it's really fun to like do that creatively with like design and just be like, oh well, what if we did this and this? It's like, oh, okay, I'll put that thing on this, and then we'll modify it a little bit like this. And I find that's like the best part of design for me is that
just the interaction. Yeah, exactly. And how a joke could just come or become an idea, a full-blown idea.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
Who knows? Maybe you spoke this into existence right now. This Pimp My Ride idea. Maybe one day, a couple months from now, it'll actually be a thing. So we'll see. I like that aspect. Yeah, definitely. Just brainstorming, even just from a random conversation, and who knows, this podcast could bring out certain things in your guys' fields that you may want to try, or just from a joke or something we've said, we could
collaboration would be dope. Yeah,
collaboration, yes, definitely.
Yeah, this is the podcast that launches the career of David Sly into stardom. Yeah, I'm calling it. David's gonna be
calling it. Nah,
he's gonna be famous.
David Sly. I only know Sly.
I only know. Just call me Sly.
Just call me.
I think the King will be better off with the fandom and the stardom. What's up, guys? Another episode of the King of Vegas talking.
Another episode of Mong Mornings.
Another episode of Pretzel Bites, where we review pretzels and talk about our lives.
I could do the pretzel right now.
Hey,
I could really use a pretzel, actually. Yeah.
How hot is it over there right now in Vegas?
Ooh, it was like 111 today.
Was it really?
I am.
Yeah. Right now, let me refresh. It's like 91, 90-ish. We got all the smoke from you guys, so.
You're welcome.
Actually,
You want no
last night-
smoke?
Last
You want
night's
some?
Smoked you out?
sunset was beautiful because of all of the smoke you guys put in the sky. It just created, I don't know what it was, it just created this amazing gradient from the sunset. Some people got some pictures.
Get any
that looked
pictures?
really dope.
Like colors, or is it just like the way the clouds looked?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it and send it in the group chat.
Well, it's a podcast, so people can't see it.
I will
We'll describe it.
I will
Yeah.
describe it when I find the picture.
Describe it. We'll have them close their eyes for 10 seconds. Visualize it.
I need you to visualize what I'm describing because it is the most beautiful sunset. Even better than double rainbow, okay?
That's a bold statement right there.
Are you really looking it up?
I'm looking it up right now.
Take a moment of silence for this.
They're back again with Sly's sunset reviews.
Tonight we had a oh man, trying to find it. It was posted on Reddit r Vegas. So oh god. Don't give me that. Don't you dare.
So, what's your let's talk about like what do you guys want to accomplish like short term? Let's give yourselves like 2 months, 3 months. Like, what do you guys want to do? You know, we're talking about being creative and doing things like, is there something you guys want to accomplish within that time?
I would say for me, just because I've been working on these music videos, I'd really like to have 3 of them done in the next couple of months, and I just really want them to be like some of the best videos I've ever done, so I'm putting a lot of effort into it. It's taken a while for some of these, but I'm really looking forward to what comes out of it, just because I'm, putting all of the creative energy into it, and yeah, that's kind of my goal, creatively. Yeah.
Would you say that's your fun project right now? That you're working on?
Kind of.
Yeah.
One of the guys is paying me for it, so I don't know. Like, it's still fun.
Hey, if you're getting
It's still
paid
fun,
and
yeah.
fun.
It's still fun. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Let me hit you with a quote real quick
Hit me.
to finish off your statement right there. When anybody pays you to be creative, you're very lucky. Can you guess who said that?
Ah, shoot.
Childish Gambino.
No way.
Childish.
Gambino.
Child Gash.
Child Gash.
Campino.
His name is Danny Glover, guys.
Danny Glover.
Danny
the famous
Phantom.
star. No, but I
Child-
think that kind of
child-
rings true to like what you just said.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like even though you're getting paid, it can still be a fun project. It could be your passion project that you're working on. It's even better if you're getting paid to work on a passion.
Mhm.
You know,
That's just
that's the dream, right?
Yeah,
that's the dream.
'tis the dream. 'Twas all a dream.
No, this is the dream. Shawty
Right
right
Yeah.
there is a 10. Just kidding.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Ooh.
Ooh.
F.A.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. This podcast blows up like crazy.
Oh, that's a
And,
good one.
Yeah, people on the street call us by our nicknames on this podcast.
It'll
that-
just be
wait,
my
wait,
regular
King of
name.
Bacon.
That's your goal?
No,
That's a good
was
goal.
just a funny.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were like saying your goal or if you're.
Well, that could be one of them. That would be
That's a goal.
one of the main ones is probably to just really start the YouTube channel, and I made a goal for by the end of this month. So
Hell yeah,
I
man.
should have camera. I should have it up up and running, and then hopefully an episode by the end of next month. We'll see.
Wait, so this is gonna be for not the car thing. This is gonna be for like you and Katie.
Oh no, that's just for a good creative outlet, is to make travel videos.
Okay.
Because I'm a big memory hoarder.
Yeah, dude.
I'd save seats from, places we've eaten at, or just tickets, or parking tickets.
That's cool.
Very
For events
sentimental.
you've been to. Yeah, very sentimental. You could say that's a good word.
Do you create shadow boxes?
And traveling just. What was that?
I said, have you created a shadow box of some of that stuff? I've thought about it. I'm just asking.
No, I actually haven't heard of what a shadow box is.
Oh,
What is
I
that?
thought that's when you
it's like
punch the air.
That is when you punch the air, but Shadowbox
No,
is like
That's what
a
I was thinking
also-
about.
Shadowbox is like an empty frame where you put stuff inside.
You put like memories, and it's like
yeah.
a 3D memory kind of frame. You can put
That
like
is-
different things in there.
You could say we all
There
start
we
out
go,
as shadow
bouncing off
boxes.
ideas. We all started out of shadow. Little
empty
shadow box
frame.
in the corner.
Our
Well, for
body
now,
is
my
but a
shadow box is a sticky shoe box of all my
Okay.
memories and stuff.
No, that's cool,
Yeah,
man. I
but-
was just wondering.
No, actually, that's a good idea. So I'm looking to that. So there you
We
go.
should do
Two great ideas from the Sly Guy.
We should do when you guys come through, do a Life is Beautiful episode.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Oh
yeah.
no, that's gonna be
video.
interesting.
Do a video,
Good
like a
video.
video, and Mark can post it on his. That'd be cool.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna connect this podcast with everything. Podcast is live. But going back to the video thing, yeah, I really like traveling now. Meeting Katie, she introduced me to, exploring the world, and nothing better than, exploring with your travel buddy. So, yeah, travel videos would be a cool creative outlet, and as well as documenting the memories. So that's why it goes all hand in hand with each other.
Cool.
That's so cool. I think
Yeah.
nowadays too, like it's cool that people can have these things like when they're older too, and they can show their grandkids like, oh dude, like this is our trip to like Lake Tahoe when we were like in our
Right.
20s, like that's the fact that we can like document everything is kind of cool. Like
Like from
Yeah,
the
but we
90s.
also
it was
over-document.
photo album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I kind of think of it like this too, though. Like, the way that technology works, like, Instagram is not going to be hot in 20 years. Like,
You're right.
all of this stuff all this whole feed that we're keeping, like, it's not really going to be there when we're older, because it's always going to be something new. So,
Mhm.
like, just enjoy your time doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta find
But
the
I've been
balance
thinking
between-
more of like printing some of the photos that I posted to Instagram and like actually hanging those up. Because like you
Yeah.
said, 20 years from now, it's not going to be a thing, and you're going to forget about it, and you're going to lose those memories. So I feel like if I print those, it's going to be an easier way for me to like keep those memories with me.
That's true. That's good.
Hey, what
Plus, I
about
can create a shadow box with it.
what about you
Yes,
guys?
the shadow box.
What about your guys' goals, Seth and Sly? What are you guys thinking of?
Oh yes.
I want to go back to like sort of my roots. I want to like start drawing more. I recently started drawing more, like, and I want to incorporate that into like my design, because I'm learning that like, yeah, I just need to draw my shit out, like, in order for it to look like the way I want it to look. So I'm just trying to like get better technically with that, and then in the meantime keep working on like little random projects that pop up for me, like, and just keep having fun. Like, that's what I've been trying to make this year about, professionally, like creatively for myself, is like I just wanted to just make stuff for the sake of making stuff, and like collaborating with as many people as I can, and just kind of like having fun,
Yeah. That kind of hit something in the back of my head when you talked about drawing, because there was one time I actually drew up a storyboard for one of the short videos that I made, and it turned out like a lot better than I thought it would. And I don't know why I don't draw up the storyboards anymore. I probably should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
See,
Yeah,
all
they're
these
definitely a good way to
ideas.
see what you need. What you need.
I think like it's cool because like a lot of my friends, what you need, they're doing a lot of like, they're doing like all this cool stuff, and they're all doing different things, and I guess too like for me, I want to just kind of like network with not only like designers. I want to like just kind of hang out with writers and illustrators and video people and like audio people. Like I think that's where you find like where you can be most creative,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
seeing other people.
All the mediums.
Because like with design, I feel like
Pick their brain a little bit.
yeah, like design, I don't know, maybe in Vegas is like less collaborative. Like do you feel like that, Sly?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely less collaborative.
Very
It's more
competitive.
siloed, yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of in-house teams, and they really stay to themselves.
Yeah. So
They're
trying to
just kind of like
that
snobby.
mold. Yeah.
But I feel like what you're doing with like creative mornings is, and bringing the like all those different kind of people together, it's good. I've met a lot of really interesting people there.
Oh yeah, Seth. Do you wanna plug Creative Mornings really quick?
Yeah, so I work with a group called Creative Mornings. It's like a breakfast lecture series that's like global, but there's chapters in every city. And so I work with the Las Vegas team, and we've been doing it for about like 3 years. But we just basically every month get like there's a topic that's brought down from corporate, and then we find somebody in the creative community to speak on that topic. So like we have like entrepreneurs speak, like chefs, like just people from all walks of life, and we just get people together to sort of like hear them speak on their story. And it's been really cool like being a part of it, just because I've met so many cool people, and I've actually like gotten work out of it too. But it feels good when people come up to you like after the event and they like thank you, and they're like, this is like what I needed to hear this morning, like I've been in a rut. So yeah, Creative Mornings Las Vegas, go check them out.
Check them out.
Check them out if you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm sure people in Cali, they also have a Cali chapter.
We
Trying to
do
get Joseph to start one.
Temecula. And so
really?
after the one that I went to up there, because I thought it was really cool going up there and seeing that, and it goes back to the whole finding inspiration and diversity of different types of mediums of creatives. But I thought it was really cool, and then I ended up looking it up down here in California. We have Creative Mornings San Diego, and we have a Creative Mornings Orange County, and I know there's one in LA.
Yeah, for sure.
Creative Mornings Temecula.
But yeah, there's no Temecula one, but I was talking to Seth
Start
about
it.
it. I was like, oh, maybe I should start that. And he was like, nah, man. No, I'm just kidding.
don't start that, man.
Nah, man.
It's too saturated in the market.
Territory.
Well,
man.
I mean, I think what he meant was that, to start small and just as a little gathering of people. So maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll just, I don't know how we'll do that, because we'll need like someone to speak, or maybe we'll just need, people to gather and hang out, talk about stuff.
I think it would be cool if you could like do like, I don't know if this is like a thing, but if you get like a bunch of models and photographers or whatever, and like do something in Temecula, like a shoot.
Well,
or
no,
something.
that's actually pretty common, and that's.
Oh, is it? I had no idea.
Oh no, I mean I'm like part of groups like that, like portrait photographers and models, like little groups like that. But then, I think what's special about Creative Mornings is you got everything. Like you're saying, you got painters, you got musicians, you got all these different mediums, and I think that really helps with the inspiration and motivation, because you're not surrounded by people all trying to do the same thing, or in the same area doing the same types of photos. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah. That would still be cool to do. So, I'm still down for it.
I'm excited for like what you guys will come up with. I feel like the YouTube channel for Mark would be really cool to see like that perspective, because I do feel like he's like pretty entertaining. So.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Thanks, bro.
Definitely has the personality,
Thanks,
man.
I think it'd be cool. Yeah, I would love to see that.
I think my cousin O'Shea described Mark the best to me. She called him a Muppet.
What the fuck?
Well, I don't know. You know how
Yeah.
Mark is just super energetic. He's very funny. The way he dances
Yeah.
sometimes, the way he messes around, he's very Muppet-like. And I was like, you know what, you're right, and I like that.
Oh, so some of my goals for like the end of this year, I have a mural that I want to work on at work that I've been trying to do. I just have to find the time, like on the weekends.
At Dunder Mifflin.
At Dunder Mifflin, yes.
The painting.
It's a
The
Michael
office.
Scott painting. It's the quote he gives in the TV
Jason
show.
Mike.
The quote is, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
It's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
No,
Dude,
I created a mural for my team. I asked them to like give me some like icons or like phrases that kind of describe their personality, and so I did some custom type that says creative department, and then like around it is like different icons and like words that describe each person on the team. So it's kind of like all of our personalities are up on the wall, but it doesn't really say who goes to what. So you just kind of see us as a whole, like these are the things that keep us creative and the things that we're interested in.
That's
So that's something that's pretty cool. And then I have a painting I was telling Seth about. I dreamt of it, and this is like the first painting that I've actually seen to fruition in my mind. Like everything else, I've kind of like come up with a concept and known what it looked like, black and white or like as a line drawing. But this painting like came to me, and I could see exactly how it looks when it's finished. So
Wow.
it's a project that I'm trying to take on. Like I have it sketched out on a sticky note on my desk, and I was telling Seth, I look at it every day and I kind of like try and remember exactly what it looks like, so when I actually do start painting it, I like it's fresh in my memory, you know.
So what's gonna happen is you're gonna finish the painting, and it's gonna be the painting that gave you nightmares in that Airbnb in LA. That we stayed in this Airbnb, and he had
This is in LA, right?
he had the worst nightmares of his life.
Oh, dude, it was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, we should
I had
go ahead and tell the story, because this
Yeah,
is a scary.
tell
This is a scary story.
Sorry, no.
I know
Stayed
the
in
story.
Airbnb like next to Dodger Stadium, and
for FYFest.
Okay.
not that it was an FYF. It was for the Zine.
Oh, no,
Con.
it was for the Zine Fest. Yeah.
But it was a really small room, and it was all pink, except it had one painting on the wall, and the painting was like this weird,
It was like this
obelisk. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was,
Obelisk
like
the Tormentor.
a weird, and so Sly stepped by
was
it.
triangle. It was like the Earth in the middle, and it had like, you think of like a Triforce exploded around it, but it wasn't like a I don't know what it was, but it was like.
Hey, you
this
guys
Earth
didn't take a picture of
exploding.
this?
I think
I know, I have it.
Oh shoot!
Oh, dun dun dun!
Yeah.
Send it away.
I'll send it to you guys on Instagram because
Okay.
I posted it. But
Yeah.
Alright, the viewers will never see it, but basically,
I slept underneath this painting, and I woke up probably like 4 times because of this nightmare. But it wasn't like, oh, I wake up and I like fall back asleep and dream something else. It's like I wake up, I'm terrified, I go back to sleep, and the dream just starts right off where it was.
Damn, that's
So it's
crazy.
just like I keep going back into this nightmare, and the nightmare was like I was in some like witch's house, or it was like haunted or something. Yeah, pretty much, man. It just fucking freaked me out. I kept
so
waking up.
funny.
to it.
Can you describe what the face looked like?
There was no face. It
Oh!
was a faceless, like entity. It was like a black figure that was like floating around this. Like think of like a
Dementor or something.
That's
like a
what I was
Dementor, but like with a witch's hat. You know, kind of like a pointy black hat. But the house was like. Did you guys play Resident Evil 7? It's like envision a old swamp house in like Louisiana.
Oh,
I really remember this
Like-
painting. Oh my god.
no,
No,
Are
this
you
is
describing the
what I
house
was
in
doing.
Resident Evil?
Yeah. No, this is what the house was in my dream. Like
Oh,
I remember
shit.
it so vividly.
Oh.
It was like so it's got that like black witch figure that's like floating around, like chasing me around, and it's like this old swamp house, like Louisiana, like run down. It's like pitch black, so like it's only moonlight coming through, and it's like rusty nails. Like maybe the house has been abandoned for like 30 years, but everybody just like kind of left abruptly. So there's like rotted stuff. There's like old like cans rustling around. It was terrifying, man. I was just like running through this house trying to like get out, and every time I make a turn, there's this fucking like Dementor thing
Chasing you around.
Yeah,
The painting.
the painting.
Whew. Yeah, that gave me chills right there.
Oh shit, you guys, you know what? I just remembered that we actually have some questions from people when I asked on
What?
Instagram. Yeah, I forgot about this. We could have totally forgot about this.
It's real.
It's real.
It got too real. I'm out, guys.
Yeah, there's some weird questions here because I don't think people understood what the podcast was gonna be about. But yeah, I'll throw some of the general ones.
The podcast was gonna be about.
Yeah, we didn't know either. So that's okay, guys. Thanks for the questions. I'll throw out the general ones out first. There's some here that are just primarily just about photography. I guess I'll answer them. But
True.
one of them is, what do you consider your greatest failure? Let's answer these kind of fast if we can. So mine was the day I met Mark. I wasn't able to.
Shit.
I'm just kidding.
No. Tell the story.
No. There's no story about that. What are you
Where
talking
he traded away his holographic cars.
You know what? That is probably one of my greatest failures. I got a Charizard from a booster pack. Like straight from a booster pack. I got a Charizard. Like it was when it was still new. Like and then this kid had Japanese Pokemon cards. That's cool. And he said, "You know what? I'll trade you this whole envelope of Japanese Pokemon cards, which I had never seen before, and for the Charizard." And I did it. And Mark, this is in 2nd grade. Mark told me not to do it.
No, Joseph, don't do it. It's not a good idea, Joseph. Don't do it.
They turned out to be Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
No. It turned out to be like the next release. It was the Jungle edition,
Oh,
like right
shit,
after.
okay.
So it was like, wow,
That's
I
cool.
just had to wait a few months. I could have got them in English, but yeah,
Oh, that's
greatest
not bad.
failure. Probably that and probably that photo shoot I was telling you guys about that I recovered from.
Damn.
Or what about you guys? Just I don't know about like life.
Greatest failure. I got fucked over when I was in college. I did some like logo stuff for a client, and I was still trying to figure out like pricing at the time, and they really lowballed me. And then when I found out about it, I tried to like up it a little bit to get it to like industry standard, and they were like, "Nah, you already like verbally agreed to this other thing, so we're only gonna pay you like 250, or it was like 150 for this logo." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah, but I mean, you live and you learn, man. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Learn through experience.
Yeah.
What about you, Sethenbergen?
Sethenberg.
August 4th, 1943. My men and I were. No, I'm just kidding.
Seth and the Mong Empire, the army of the Mong Empire.
Swamped down by enemy gunfire from the MG42 on the hill. No, I don't know. Like greatest, I don't think there's like a greatest failure. Like there's just like bad shit that happens to you sometimes. But I think something that I'm struggling with is basically like, you have to sort of like stand up for yourself in the workplace, you know what I mean? And I feel like I needed, like, there are times when I first started as a designer that I needed to do that and sort of assert myself more instead of like, just like rolling with the punches, because people kind of like pick up on that, they try to like, they know they can do that to you again. So I think it's like more of a,
You train them to be shitty towards you.
yeah,
right?
you gotta like, it's hard because like sometimes when you feel like you're starting out, you need to pay your dues and all that stuff, but it doesn't give them the right to like, talk to you a certain way, or just because that's what you think is right, like. So maybe it's that.
All right, Mark.
I say my greatest failure is giving up too early. It's going to be more generalized, I think, because I haven't really experienced many failures in the creative aspect of my life, but probably just giving up too easily with certain things, and or not thinking I'm good enough to do it. So that brought me down just mentally, drawing my attention to something else that I wasn't interested. But now that, you know, got support from you guys, and really gonna get this jump started, my creative wagon that I'm about to hop onto, and it's gonna be exciting. So
Dope.
I know, and you'll always sort of like, you know, as a creative, you'll always sort of have like this doubt in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just like comes with the territory of being creative. Like, am I good enough and stuff? But as long as you just keep making stuff, like, you should be good, you know.
You're right. Thanks for that.
So we're actually on the hour mark now, unedited. So just to let you guys know, we're gonna kind of speed through these questions.
Let go.
On our way out of our podcast now. That last question was from Peter Awesome. Thanks, Peter, for that question.
Peter, you are awesome.
You are awesome. He also asked one more question, which I think is a good one. Just who inspires you? So let's just name 2 artists that you guys are inspired by. I'll go first, just because I'll give you guys some time to think about it. For me, just off the top of my head, Chase Jarvis was a big inspiration for me as a photographer, and just as somebody, as a creative, because he ended up creating Creative Live, which is also like a podcast just like this, and just went out and, you know, interviewed different creators, and really helped other creators get off their feet or get going and get motivated. And the other one would be street photographer Eric Kim. He's a younger guy, kind of like, I think he's a little younger than me, but he's one of the big names in street photography right now, and it's pretty cool. Really inspired me to continue doing that. Alright, whoever wants to go next.
Yeah.
Who inspires you? 2 people.
I'd say it's kind of random, but Chris Brown was always my inspiration growing up. Favorite artist.
Okay.
You know, despite his character and everything, he resembles a lot of traits creatively that I guess
Appreciate.
appreciate. Like dancing, singing. He does art too. Like
clothing
creative.
line, right?
What was that?
He's got a clothing line too, right?
Yeah, that too. So clothes. You know, so anyone who has multiple avenues within, you know, their creative mindset is pretty inspiring. But since 2005, inspired me to dance, inspired me to try to learn how to sing better. You know, just his style, his swag, that was inspired me. Also, very random too, but Kobe Bryant is also a good, or has been an inspiration to me. Just the way he takes the game and sees in it a whole different, like, retrospect than other people. It's not just a game to him. It's like tactical.
It's war.
Yeah, it's war. It's like life or death to him, basically. And so him being that beast he is, the Black Mamba. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. We miss you.
Shit.
Yeah. Has been an inspiration to me. I like seeing basketball in a different way too, but not as crazy as he does, obviously. But yeah, 2 random people who inspire me off the top of my head.
All right. I guess I'll go next. So I got 2 people. For me would be this type designer. His name is Marc Canesso.
That's me.
Markcaneso. But he's like a type designer. He does a lot of hand lettering and like custom fonts. I just recently bought one of his posters where he's done like word marks and like creative phrases done in like typography. So I have those hanging up at work. Those really inspire me. And this other designer, it's more of like an agency. It's based out of San Francisco. It's called Hatch SF, and they're a design agency that does like really cool branding that I really enjoy, and it's something that I've always like looked towards as like where I want to be if I ever go into like advertising. Some of the brands that they've actually worked on is like Smart Water, Crave Beef Jerky, Vitamin Water, and Odwalla. Those are some of the major people that they've done design work for. So that it's kind of like heavy illustration, clean design. But I listened to him do a talk for AIGA one time, and he really inspired me. So I looked into his company, and it was really cool.
Dope.
Nice.
For me, like as of recently, there's an artist named Alex Solis. He's kind of like a visual artist, but he has a lot of fun with what he does. You see in his stuff, he's been doing a lot of the 6ix9ine illustrations.
Okay.
Like those weird animations, like those cartoons. But like he's pretty cool. Like he's like a b-boy, but then he also does like 3D modeling, and he like makes these little figures. So he does these like unmasked illustrations, and it's like it's Squirtle, but like Squirtle has his head off, and it's like Raphael. You know? He just like has a bunch of fun with like his Instagram feed is like amazing. So like his Instagram is Alex MDC.
MDC.
Yeah, you'll see all of his stuff, and he does like really funny things. Like he'll do like an inappropriate like animation. Like he'll like draw it out, and it'll start looking like a penis, but then it ends up being something else. Like I just like that he's like having fun with stuff. So yeah, I really like that dude's work. And then maybe like another like person or group that like inspires me is just like, it's kind of like a dumb answer, but it's like other creatives I work with like in town.
It's not a
like,
dumb answer.
Well, like seeing my friends like come up and like seeing them like make cool things, and like that's like what inspires me a lot, because like they're your friends, you know, you want to see them like succeed. So when they do, like it's amazing. Like my friend Adam, he has a band called The Wildly, and like he recently played at the Palms with like he opened for Train, like his band.
Damn.
Like it's
Whoa.
so he's like getting gigs and getting bigger, and like, you know, seeing him and his band grow and like see their music grow, like so cool. So yeah, just like people around me inspire me all the time.
That's a cool answer.
Dope.
I was wondering if anyone was going to say that, like my friends inspire me. That question was from Peter Awesome as well. I thought it was a cool question, so I gave him 2 questions here.
Peter, damn.
We got
Peter, the overachiever.
next question here is from a friend of the show, Mr. Paul Mandap.
Oh god.
What up, Paul?
Shout out to Paul P.Mandap at P.Mandap at Instagram.com.
Mr. Always Down.
So he's got this question here. It says, how did your love for being a creative artist start? For me, I don't know, just as a kid I was always drawing. I was always, you know, making stuff out of paper, construction paper, and you know, and parents would always be like, man, what, can you stop? Because I'd always like make a mess, making like crap everywhere. So I don't know, I was always drawing, and I was always, you know, telling a story in my head. So that was me. I think that's most of us, really.
Yeah.
As far as photography goes, I was doing car photography originally. That's how I got into it.
Yeah, I could say that too. At a young age, my love for sharks. I remember story time in the library, and one of the books was about sharks. Fitting my name was Mark, so I ended up sticking with sharks as my favorite animal, and I'd always draw them during class and got somewhat good at it. So I guess that's where the creative aspect started. Lately, as of now, just being surrounded by creative people, friends, Joseph Carter, Sly, Sly that guy, King of
Sly.
Vegas. Also, yeah, my girlfriend being the IG queen she is,
Aww.
just wanting everything to be aesthetic is also something creative and fun to do to make someone else look good. So,
So yeah, growing up I drew a lot, but I used to always go to the library and get like these drawing books from this illustrator named Ed Emberley, and he would do these books. There was like the big book of monsters, and he would like break it down step by step on how to draw like a vampire or like.
Oh, I think I remember.
You remember those books? And then like they used to like you should be able to like draw a boat, and you would draw like or like a truck. You draw like a square and then a rectangle.
Yeah.
Like those were my favorite books growing up, and I would always check them out. Like, and I remember like creating like these huge like worlds on like these pieces of paper that I had, and like that. I don't know. That's just like where it started. Like Ed Emberley and his little books teaching little kids how to draw.
As far back as I can remember, I've been drawing, but I would say what I really started getting into was funny, like you, Seth. I would go to the library, but I would be checking out like military books because my family's all military, and I remember like seeing like detailed like spec drawn out of like weapons, and I would always try to like replicate like those weapons and like draw those out, and I think that's how I really got into it. But my mom is the one who actually pushed me into being like a designer, because I was really leaning towards being a mechanic because I love doing things with my hands, like creating things or like just doing things with my hands,
Shadowboxing.
Shadowboxing, of course. But she's the one who pushed me and was like, she was a mechanic in the military. She was an airplane mechanic, and she told me, she's like, you're going to ruin your hands if you're going to be a mechanic, so you should pursue art, and then later in life, if you really want to like be a mechanic still, you can always go back and do that.
That's cool, man. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know about your family's military background. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Actually, I just remembered something during Seth's story about why I probably like videography. My parents bought me a freaking Lego Studios movie maker kit. You remember that? With a little camera.
God.
Oh my god!
That's cool, man.
I went so hard on that, dude. That's actually, that's the first video editing software I ever used. So that was back in
triple OG
2004, probably 2003. That's pretty funny.
Hmm.
Next question. Oh, that question was from Paul. Thanks again, Paul. P-Man.
Thanks,
Love
Paul.
you, Paul.
We love you.
Team Bandab, what up? Shout out.
Next question is from Naughty Asian, NWTYAZN. Yeah, he's actually a cousin of one of my friends. His question is, what motivates you in life? Kind of vague. Let's answer it as honestly as we can. I would say my wife, my dogs, knowing that I can create something that might last a while, that people might know about. That motivates me.
What if you had to say one word?
One word? Rosebud.
Egypt.
Oh.
Egypt.
Egypt.
Rosebud.
That's all for me.
Okay.
What motivates you guys in life?
In life, living, God, family, friends, making something that people will know. Yeah, Sharky Mark, aka Marc Alegre, made that. Money, just kidding. Yeah, money. Just and just this is how it was made. So myself.
All right.
I don't know.
It's a really big question, so.
Yeah.
I think for me, it'll be I mean, obviously there's like family and friends and all that, but I'm trying to make it so like I motivate myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was the question, right? I totally forgot.
Yeah,
like,
what motivates you in life? That was the question.
Yeah, no, I want to motivate myself, and like I just want to have fun. Like I want to like have fun and play with like design and illustration and like whatever I do. Like I just want to have a good time. So that's all. I think if you can motivate yourself every day, then you don't need anything else.
Okay, Sly, you didn't answer.
Yeah,
did you?
what motivates me? If I had to say one word,
Shadowboxing.
You guys want to call the podcast Shadowboxing? That'd be a cool podcast name. Shadowboxing.
What's the idea
yes,
behind?
yes, I would say yes.
I don't.
100 times yes. Getting back to the question.
Yes. Now that I know what it is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say happiness, whether it's doing things that make me happy, doing things that make other people happy. For me, happiness is like the one thing that I need in my life, and that's what motivates me.
Okay.
It's just being happy and like having everybody around me be happy.
Love it.
Alright. I didn't know there was a right answer until Sly answered, but okay.
You're wrong, Sly. Power.
Power money.
Yeah, so these other questions are kind of photography related. Ooh.
How many do we have?
We have.
How many?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 in total. Well, not that many, honestly. Not a lot, but yeah. Mr. Charles Gambino, Mr. Charles Guinto here, friend of the show.
CG, what up, Charles?
Check him out
Kiki.
at
Hello,
Charles.
Charles.
At Charles Gambino. He makes some
Charles.
great shit. I mean, oops, I forgot we're in
He's
PG.
an inspiration as well.
Charles.
Eric.
Charles.
Anyways, Charles. Damn, we can't
Xavier.
get past one question without making like 1,000 references to movies. So his question was, do you know any lenses for nice bokeh or to blur background? Which is pretty. I mean, I should be asking Charles that, but that's a pretty general like beginner question for photographers. You know, how do you get that super blurry background? And
Photoshop.
basically, you just want to use the blur tool in Photoshop.
I would say a 50 millimeter.
So what you really need is a lens that has a lower number for the aperture. So you want something that opens wide, so like a 1.8, like a 50 millimeter 1.8, a really cheap lens that would give you a really good blurry background. Next question: will the podcast be on YouTube, iTunes, or Castbox?
Hell yeah!
Can't wait to hear the first episode from our good friend Chia, Mr. Cogdorn on Instagram.
Yo, shout out, what up?
Shout out. You know what? Honestly, I don't even know yet. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to put it out on everything. That's the goal. Put it out on everything. Shadowboxers podcast.
Put that on everything.
Shadowboxers. Life is Beautiful will be our first video recording.
You know, it's kind of like scrapbooking. Like it's the new age scrapbooking, shadowboxing. So
Yeah,
it kind of makes
actually,
sense, right?
I like it. I like it.
Shadowboxing. You know, you guys down with that name?
I'm down.
I'm down with it.
No, I'm not.
Because we're creating
Someone
memories
had-
that we're putting in the shadow
Exactly.
box.
Someone had to say it.
It's
No.
fitting. Fits the
And
first
if you
time.
really, I mean, if you got really high and you thought about it, YouTube is only but a shadow box in the computer.
Don't do drugs, kids.
You're really high right now, aren't you?
No.
high off happiness, high off life.
And that was the last question. That was it, guys.
That was it.
Yeah. So
Done.
Cool.
I want to end it with an inspirational quote. Okay.
Give it to him.
So, the great Paula Scher said, "It's through mistakes that you actually can grow. You have to get bad in order to get good."
Yeah,
I feel like
it.
that really ties into this episode.
definitely.
I like it. Very
Dang.
good. Very good. Seth is shaking his head, but
Seth hates it.
I think he
Hates the
forgot.
school.
I think he forgot what was yes and what was no for a second. So
Let me hit you with another one.
There you go.
Effective, meaningful design requires intellectual, rational rigor, along with the ability to elicit emotions and beliefs. Great, Debbie
Cool.
Milton said that.
You're all set
A little
to teach
harder.
your first intro to design class.
you know what? We're gonna need to end every episode with a little sly philosophy.
It's
Quote.
called
Silence.
Silence.
Slylosophus
That's why his
Rex.
DJ name is Silence.
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 Yeah.
Well, that was good. I think that's a good place to end it. So thank you guys for listening. If you're listening, next theme I'm still thinking of. I think we're gonna do dinosaurs as the next theme, but we'll see.
Yes.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
But yeah, thank you guys. You guys want to say anything before we head out of here?
Practice
This was a
safe
very
design.
fun experience.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, this was really fun. I
These
definitely
dudes
look
are-
forward to the next one.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I think it was a good, feet wetting experience. So
My feet are drenched.
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. All
I
right.
feel you.
Thank you guys. Talk to you later.